As most of you know, I make a lot of tools and bits and pieces, and the first time I saw a sphere, I cannot honestly tell you where it was, whether it was on Google Images or whatnot. I watch a lot of YouTube. I thought I'm going to have a crack at that and make one of those. So it was probably good 24 months ago. So I started telling everyone I was going to do it, and they already started talking about doing a demo, which was fine. So I finally started getting into it and making this. So it's been in the making for about 18 months. I got a metal lathe, I don't know how long ago, probably 18 months or less. And once I got there, I started looking at making a sphere. So there's a lot of videos on how to use a metal lathe, because I had absolutely no idea. But yeah, so pretty much I started looking into it. I looked up a few different designs and what I was going to sort of base my design on. And Paul Howard, if you know him, he's a very, very clever man. I think he's English, I'm not 100% sure. He has a lot of sphere jigs, a lot of other jigs that hold routers and bits and pieces. So if you want a good look on YouTube, look him up, and he's worth a look. So I based mine on his sphere jig, but just made it better. And sort of started making other jigs as attachments as well. So I'll talk a little bit about the spheres. It's pretty basic. All it is I'll start with this. I'll just talk about it a little bit because I don't think I've got enough content to fill the evening, so I'll just talk for a little bit, calm the nerves. So all a sphere jig really does, and most of them will do it, is you find a center point, which is in alignment with this, center of the bed, and it pretty much, so I'm going too fast, spins around to create a sphere. Also the same on metal lathes, just a slightly different setup. There are some contraptions that go into your tool rest and go over the top. Yeah, a lot of interesting contraptions are out there, but this was the one that I thought I'd be able to do. So this was pretty much the first project I ever did on the metal lathe. So few errors in doing so, but achieved what I wanted to in the end. The only thing I think I'll change on the next one is, sorry to keep you up, whoever that was, is be able to click it in to the bed and rotate the base and clamp it in place. At the moment I have to take the tailstock off, which is a bit of a hassle, but it's not the end of the wheel. So I started off with this one, and I did probably 3 or 4 spheres with that one. Cuts beautifully. Depending on how fast you do cut and how aggressive you do make the cut, obviously, is how fine your ball will come out. I thought I'd try just a standard cup tool on another cutter. Better overall cuts, but aggressive, and I'll show you where it gets aggressive is in here. Is when I start coming around like that, is where it starts biting in there. So I'm only cutting on, you know, a 1/16 of an inch of cutter. So when you come around here and start biting into a bit more of the shaft, is where it gets a little bit hairy. And yeah, this bad boy here, because intermittent with different types of timber, you apply, that's purple hard, I think that's Jatoba, hard to soft. It was wanting to bite in a little bit more, and it might have left the lathe twice. A couple of days ago, I made that. I've started off with full blocks like this, turn these down, and to create a sphere in the middle, so absolute lot of wastage. So I thought, how can I do this a little bit better? Looked up YouTube, and guys were gluing blocks on the end. Being impatient as I am, I did not use PVA, I've used hot glue. So absolutely beautiful. And I was turning one at 1400 revs on Saturday night, I think. Might have been a bit of Dutch courage to help me get to 1400 revs, but yeah, it was beautiful. It didn't fly. See that? I always mark my drive centre. It's not overly necessary, but if I'm taking a piece off from time to time, I like it to go back in the same position that it was. Questions?
What tension do you put on there?
Yeah, I'll give it a bit. I don't want it to come off. So I'm just going to rough this out.
What speed are you setting it to?
That one's about 800, I think. You're not helping me, are you? I've measured that, and that is pretty much going to be the outside of my ball, thereabouts. So I'm going to take an extra couple of mil off. It might end up being 90 mil. This is our sphere, pretty much. This is our overall dimensions. The lines, they'll get cut out willy-nilly, happy days. So what I'm going to do is I will take the edges off a little bit, but I'll put my jig on now and start getting that in alignment while I've got a flat edge to measure off.